Okay, some probability basics that are close to just being intuitive. So our rule is probability equals WOPO, wanted outcomes out of possible outcomes. But I don't need to write the words, just WOPO is fine. So let's say I'm rolling a die. The question might be, what's the probability of rolling a 6? So I'm going to write the rule. Then when I implement the rule, I'm going to go, therefore probability equals, rolling a 6, there's one number 6 on a die, and there are 6 possible outcomes. So my answer is 1 out of 6. So it's very intuitive, that's what we would do by nature, but we've got to put the rule. So if the question was, what's the probability of rolling an even number? So probability of rolling an even number. As a question, the first thing you would do would be to write the rule. We must apply the rule as it is. So when we're thinking about rolling an even number, the wanted outcomes are out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6, how many are even? 1, 2, 3. So the wanted outcomes are 3, and there are 6 possible outcomes. And then at the end, you simplify. Really important that you state the rule, use the rule, and then simplify. Let's go one more. Let's go into cards. What's the probability? I'm going to draw a card out of a deck of cards. What's the probability that I draw a red card? So the first thing I do, state the rule, probability. WOPO, wanted outcomes. How many red cards there in a deck? There are 26. How many possible outcomes can I get? Well, there's 52 different cards. So state the rule, apply the rule, then simplify. And clearly you do recognise that there are half the pack is red, so the probability is 1 out of 2 or a half. That's what we call theoretical probability. We also need to talk about experimental probability. Let's just say I've been down the oval shooting arrows at targets. Let's just say I've had 20 shots of my arrow, and out of that I've got 5 bullseyes, the red dot in the middle. So if the question was, okay, given that that's happened, what's the probability now that Finnig shoots a bullseye? So I've just shot 5 out of 20 shots. So that really is very similar to our previous WOPO. So we're going to go, well, here we've got our wanted outcomes, but because it's not theoretical, we've got to have something different. We're going to have the number of experiments. That word's a little bit big. Trials. I really don't mind which one you use. Trials is probably a bit easier. So here I've got 5 bullseyes, which is what I want. And my number of trials is I've had 20 goes at it. I've had 20 experiments or 20 trials. So it's 5 over 20. And clearly we want to simplify that to 1 out of 4. So we're going to apply that relative frequency formula, the probability formula. One more, let's just think about our snow trip this year or next year or whatever year we're in. Let's just say, out of the last 50 years, 45 have been good snow. Good snow. What's the probability that this year we get good snow? So probability, the book does call it relative frequency. I'm really not really caring what you say there. Probability will be wanted outcomes over number of trials. Wanted outcomes, well, I want good snow. 45 over past 50, and simplify it. If you want to go 0.5 9, that's okay. I like the fractions better. Okay, nice and simple, very similar whether it's experimental or theoretical.